Hey everybody, Happy New Year! It's Audrey. This is my first process video of 2018, and it is for the Paige Evans and Silhouette design team. And I am using a cut file today called blah blah blah, and it's just a series of the word blah in different fonts. And I picked this because this is something that my son says all the time, and it was absolutely perfect. So I wanted to use it on a page, and I just grabbed a little photo of him, actually a selfie that he snapped of himself, and I'm going to use that. So I am actually, I separated the cut file by releasing the compound path, and I moved the letters around, and you can see, I stretch them out a little bit, and I'm just kind of spreading them out. Oh, initially I thought I was going to use 3 photos. I had 3 photos printed, and you just saw them there for a second. So I ended up with that cut, and just how I had it there in the design studio. And I wanted to add some mixed media behind where the photos were going to be. So I chose this piece of pattern paper for the background, this kind of geometric print. I thought it was fun for a boy page. And this is on my cutting mat right now. So it's cut, but I haven't taken it off my cutting mat, and you can see kind of almost right in the center there where it's warped a tiny bit from the gesso that I spread on it. So yeah, it's still stuck on my mat. And when you add the gesso over it, it really fuses the pieces back to the paper, so it's a little tricky getting it off, but it works okay. There's none of this stuff really bleeds through onto the cutting mat. So I have a little helper, as you can see over there. My kids rarely come right next to me while I'm scrapping, but he was curious because he knew this picture was about him, and I told him I was doing something cool with the words. And I said, this is something that you say all the time. And he says, I can't see anything. I said, watch in a minute. I said, it's going to be like magic. So I added some mixed media there with the smooshing technique. I dried it off, and he patiently waited while it dried. It's still a tiny bit wet in some places where there's a lot of gesso. And I said, now watch. I'm going to pop out the letters, and you tell me if you think you know what it says. And, he was saying B-L, and then he said, blah. I said, yep. And he says, it says blah, blah, blah. I said, you got it, buddy. And then that was it. The allure was over. See ya, Mommy. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so I carefully pull these out, and yeah, they do get sticky in there with the gesso and mixed media on it. Oh, he's back. I guess he was still interested. He did actually tell me a couple of these papers. Oh, Charlotte's there too. She's helping out. Help pick a couple papers of what to put where. So I am using a lot of the papers from the Turn the Page collection, and I know I'm going to go with some kind of bold patterns because my photos are in black and white. I might as well use up these patterns. This piece is from the 6x6 paper pad, and it has a lot of the colors on it, but it also has, which you'll see every now and then when I turn it, it has the gold foil, so you can see a little bit of the sparkle there. So I decided to go ahead and use that in 3 places because I really want the gold foil to kind of stand out here in each row of the word blah. So I just go through and pick out different pattern papers. You can see I already have some picked out to the left. I stuck with papers, other than this one, that were mostly like a solid tone. I have a couple other patterns in there just for a little bit of interest, but for the most part, they're kind of just the single tone with, the subtle print on it. And after I had fooled around with my photos, I didn't really show this on camera, but I decided just to go with the one photo because the other 2 photos were super blurry, and I wanted to capture actually this photo because he's not smiling, and it is kind of his blah face, and I love his little cute blah face when he gets frustrated or angry or whatever. I mean, I guess I don't like the angry face, but I don't know. He's so cute. He's still so innocent. So I made the photo a couple pieces of paper, and I decided the letters weren't standing out enough. The background paper is pretty busy, so I went through and I outlined them with a black Sharpie. And yeah, I had the papers behind my photo. Okay, so stars. There's a lot of stars in this collection, in the Turn the Page collection. I love this piece of pattern paper. It reminds me of a quilt pattern, actually. So I cut out 3 of these 4-pointed stars. I love the blue and the green on those. And then I was looking for a little phrase or a couple other things I could add. That pink one says, everything is going to be okay. And I hadn't put any, or too much actually, pink in any of the cutout letters. I guess the piece of paper behind his photo has a tiny bit of pink in it, but I mean, I don't really care. Like, I'm not one of those people who doesn't put pink on a boy page. I don't care about that, really, but I hadn't put very much pink on here, so then I thought, okay, if I put a pink phrase on, then I'm going to have to add more pink in a couple other places, but alright, so I had some of these stars already cut out from other pages I have done. I've used these stars on quite a few pages. I love them. I love the little patterns on them. And I love that there's lots of different colors of these stars. I also have those stars from the 6x6 piece of paper too, and so they're smaller. I put a little chipboard arrow there in the photo, and I have a couple of the wood veneer pieces. And I know I put the paper airplanes on there too because, I don't know, paper airplanes kind of seem like a boy icon to me, and again, I don't really care about boy icons and girl icons, but I just thought it was an appropriate page I could use them on. So instead of putting, as I said, 3 photos on, where I was going to have the other 2 photos, I'm just going to make some embellishment clusters with these stars and a couple phrases and die cuts and wood veneer. And because I have so much pattern on here and a lot of details, I'm not going to over embellish. I think I'm right on the verge of it being too embellished because, yeah, it's kind of super busy. So this little phrase, I decided I don't like the square, and I thought it would just be a little bit more interesting if I cut out the shape and placed it right on my photo. And I really like that saying, everything is going to be okay with this blah 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 title. And then the little saying, you are stronger than you think, which I cut that one off. I don't know if you saw me cut that out from one of those little 2x2 pads too. So this is where I decided I have to balance out the pink now. So I added a pink star there. And what did I add pink in the bottom? Oh, a little bit veneer piece that is pink. Okay, so I'm going to glue everything on. Oh yeah, I stitched over just the green and blue 4 pointed stars. I stitched right in the line, so it's kind of hard to see in the video here, but in the close-ups you'll be able to see the stitching lines that I did on those 4 pointed stars. And then that little tag, that has gold foil on it too, I just noticed. You can kind of see the reflection there. That's where I'm going to put my journaling. Oh, that's what I did. The little phrase that says, you are stronger than you think, I backed it with a pink piece of paper. And that brought in my pink there to help me create my visual triangle with my pink. And just glue this, and I cut a little tag at the top too, just the top of the tag to put behind the top of the photo. And I'll thread some twine through that, and I'm going to stamp the date on that. And here comes that little tag. I just grabbed some black and white twine from my stash. Oops, hit my camera. Oh, and I add some twine to the little wood veneer button too. So this is winding down here. I do go back and add my journaling and the date, and that's pretty much it. So go check out Paige's shop in the Silhouette Design Store. She has lots of cut files. Gosh, she puts up ones every week, I think, and like 10 every week. I don't know how she does it and comes up with so many ideas and designs, but they're awesome. So they are available in the Silhouette Design Store. Okay, so I think that's about it. Yep, there's the final page. So super fun. I love to do this technique, big titles, backing it with pattern paper. I just love the way that looks. There you can see the stitching better on the stars. I used some teal thread. And the fun layers there and all the bright colors. Well, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you stopping by. And stay scrappy, friends. I'll see you soon.